It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to this very important session in alignment with our objective of bringing some capacity building to staff of Nigerian universities. My name is Dr. Akanimo Odon, and I'll be leading this session very briefly, but also you would see me come up over the next 2 months on different training opportunities, but also different training videos that you would watch. This session is meant and designed to be some kind of a briefing session, so to give you a clear idea of what to expect over the next 2 months. First and foremost, a bit of a background. My role is Director of Africa Strategic Partnership Lancaster University, but I also have a second hat as a project manager for this project. Now, the project is a Foreign Commonwealth Development Office FCDO funded project, and that is part of the UK government. And Lancaster University is the project deliverer, but is doing that in partnership with Nigerian universities on the funding of FCDO. But also on the project portfolio profile is British Council supporting, but also obviously the NUC. Now, we won the funding a couple of years ago, and the idea was to train Nigerian universities on a range of very important areas based on a series of research and mini projects we've won. Now, as it happens, there were 2 specific programs that was designed. The first one is, which is the one for staff of universities, is called Stimulating Sustainable Entrepreneurial Thinking for Scientists, SSETS. The second program designed for students is the International Career Coaching Program, ICCP, for students. So the funding made provisions for us to deliver a pilot of the program to a selection of Nigerian universities. So at the time, working with the NUC, obviously, we chose 2 universities from each of the 6 geopolitical zones. And then we now have 2 extra universities at FCT Abuja, making 14. And over a space of 6 months, we went through the delivery of the training program. It's fully online, by the way. And that program was so impactful such that we even were able to measure the actual impact in specific detail. So what did we do? We had to be scientific about how that was done. So at the beginning of the program, the different 14 universities that were picked as for the pilot, we asked the university to nominate in an intervention group, which is the group that will receive the program, and then to nominate a control group. So this group of academics and students will not receive the program. And so before the program now begins, there an assessment of their current status. So a series of questionnaires, about 30 questions, asking them things like, when last did you apply for funding? When last did you win funding? How many partnerships do you have outside your own area of interest? Are you multidisciplinary in your partnerships? Do you have partnerships, geographical partnerships in other countries in Africa beyond just Nigeria? When last did you communicate with the academic you cite in most of your papers? And it went on, and the idea was to establish a current state of everybody, both the intervention group, who would get the program afterwards, and the control group. When all that assessment was done, we gathered a lot of data. And then we now agreed, and over a 2-month period, the program was delivered to the intervention group, but the control group didn't get the program. So I hope you're following me. And then at the end of the intervention of giving the program out, at the end, we now took another assessment of everybody. So both the intervention group and the control group. And right away, we can clearly see the impact of the program, because while the control group, there was no major change in their professional pathways or professional progression across different indices, and it was quite precise. On the other round, we were able to spot clear specific impact and changes in the intervention group who got the program. And that to us was the clear evidence, experimentally and scientifically, what the impact of the program truly is. But obviously, so that we can be well thorough and fair to everybody, we now officially gave the program to the control group after we did all the experimentation. So everyone at the end of the day still got the program. I don't know if that's very clear. And I want this to be a bit of an interactive session and it will be very, very brief. I'm hoping we can finish this the next 30 minutes, really, just to get a clarity. And why it's important is because we were surprised, and maybe anyway, it was part of why it was a pilot program. Surprised at the impact of the program, but we were also surprised at key things we hadn't considered. And so I'm trying to make you understand this before the program starts. Anyway, so all the data we gathered, we now began to collate. From our assessment, the data we gathered for the pilot, we are potentially able to publish up to 25 research papers from all the data because it was very comprehensive. Okay, it took us 6 months to 8 months. Obviously, the actual program itself, the actual training, is only for 2 months. But if you consider pre-intervention, post-intervention, and even a delayed intervention, that means after 3 months since the program ended, we now took another assessment of if people who have taken the program and had a change are still seeing the change in their own careers as academics. And we tracked all of that. It was very comprehensive. It's okay. So now, how did your group come about? Because that was a pilot. So as part of the requirement of the project or the funders, we have to go and deliver the results to the key stakeholders, which included the vice chancellors of these 14 universities. So I did a trip to most of these universities. And then at the end of that, we now held an international forum in Abuja where the results of that project that shows the clear impact was publicized to everybody. Now, and that reminds me, I will be happy to share that result with everybody after this call because it's good for you to see how powerful what you're about to undertake is. And I'll give you some examples. So we now presented it. So after the forum in Abuja, which was November last year, then 2 months ago, we had a meeting with the new executive secretary of the NUC, National Universities Commission. And we now presented the results to him in his office. And he was so magnanimous in the way he received us. And he was so impressed that a project of this nature was delivered in Nigerian universities with such incredible impact. And so that day in his office, we didn't plan for this. He now said, can we still increase the impact to 6 new universities, which he would choose and the team across Nigeria? So 1 university in each of the 6 geopolitical zones. And we said, absolutely. And interestingly, in addition to that, would it be good if members of the NUC, so government officials who are responsible for the policy of the regulation of education in higher education in Nigeria, also took part of the program from a policy perspective? And there was a consensus was reached. So why am I saying this? So in your court, the pilot is finished. So you are like in the second phase, phase 2. In your cohort, we have academics from 6 Nigerian universities and staff members from the NUC, making about 252 participants on this cohort. And the universities are just for the sake of every other else. So you know which university members are in your cohort. It's important because at some point in the program, part of the requirement, which is why I tell you it's a very practical program, is you would have to make professional friendship with other universities. So who are the universities on the program? It's Babcock University, Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Northwest University in Kano, Federal University of Technology in Minna, Akwa Ibom State University, and finally Northeastern University in Gombe. And obviously members of the NUC. So they make up the composition of the participants on this program. Now, let me give an idea of what to expect, because you're perhaps wondering how is it going to run. So let me explain. Okay, before I continue, any questions, please? So if you have any question, you can write it in the chat or just unmute yourself and let me hear you out. Any questions, please? Any questions, please? So no questions. Okay, good. So if you don't mind me, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you a sense of how practical this program is, because the program is not a theoretical program. So if you get the feeling that you just come and listen to people talk to you and that's fine, you finished, that's not going to happen, because the impact we saw, to give an idea of how powerful the program was, we saw up to 75% increase in performance, access to grant opportunities, access to opportunities that the average academic didn't think they had access to, because of how the program was delivered. That's how this program will be run. So that means that when you hear or watch any video, the real impact in your career as an academic would only happen when you intentionally and carefully respond to the activities of the program. It's an activity and assignment-based program. It's pretty flexible. So that means that we'll try and give you enough time. And every week, you watch 1 or 2 training videos. And in some cases, these videos are the videos that was delivered to the pilot team. So have that in mind. You are watching a video that has been delivered to a previous court, but you watch the video and then you have to respond to some exercises and activities within the program. Now, if you notice, this is very important. If you notice, there are 2 groups that has been formed. Can you please mute your microphone, please? If you notice, there are 2 groups that has been formed on the program. And these groups are the WhatsApp group you are on, but also the LinkedIn group. Now, according to my quick assessment, many people who have joined the WhatsApp group have not joined LinkedIn group. Now, that's a mistake. The reason is because the WhatsApp group is purely an information group. I'll say it again. The WhatsApp group is where we give you information of what's going on. The actual platform for the delivery of the program and the response of exercises is actually on LinkedIn. So if you're on WhatsApp and not on LinkedIn, you wouldn't get the benefit from the program. That's very, very crucial. So let me just maybe do like a bit of an interaction. How many of us on this current call are on LinkedIn? Can you say yes or no on the chat, please, quickly?
Hello, good evening. In my own case, I'm not active in LinkedIn group.
So right now, you don't really have to be active, but you are on it. So don't worry, the program will make you active. That's the design. But I think the point is, do you currently have an account on LinkedIn? If you don't, I want to advise you, immediately after this call, the first thing you must do as a priority is to actually reactivate your LinkedIn profile. Maybe a few of you have forgotten your password. That's fine. You have today, tomorrow, and on Friday, by Friday, on even Saturday, even the weekend, to make sure your LinkedIn account is activated. If you've lost your password, go back to LinkedIn. There is a way you can retrieve your password or request for a new password, because you will not enjoy, and I assure you this is truly, you won't enjoy the benefit of the program if you are not on LinkedIn. So those who are on LinkedIn but are not active, that's fine. The program will make you active. Those who are on LinkedIn have lost their password, you have to reactivate it in the next couple of days, unfailingly. Those who are already active, even better. Okay? Because, listen, gentlemen, you cannot be an academic in this era and not be on the biggest professional network in the world. That makes no sense. This is LinkedIn. Let me give a small story, true story. So in my job, I travel all around. I cover over 30 countries in Africa. And I deal and train academics, I train government officials, I train corporate bodies, and so on. So November last year, I was in Burkina Faso training senior government officials on resource mobilization and grantsmanship. So how to win serious money is one of my expertise. And that is actually a module on this program. To give an idea of what I mean, why I am able to say what I say. In the last 4 to 5 years, I have won in excess of 40 million pounds in international grants. Just me, over 40 million pounds in international grants. I actually know how to win money. And so the principles and secrets are actually taught on this program. It's only one module. There are many things that the program covers. It's very powerful. Anyway, so I am in this room with senior government officials in Burkina Faso, and I'm training them about how to win grants and how to make money and so on. So at some point, I stop, then I take out my phone, and then I do a selfie of myself and the group behind me. And I do a LinkedIn post. It's a very short post. And the post says, I am currently in Burkina Faso delivering a training program to senior government officials on international funding and resource mobilization. And we are having such a good time because of the impact being delivered. Anyway, I put that post on LinkedIn and put the picture. Within 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, a lady in Malawi reaches out to me and says, hey, doc, I've just seen your post on LinkedIn about what you are currently doing in Burkina Faso. I find it very exciting. Are you available to fly into Malawi to train senior government officials on the same thing you are training on in Burkina Faso? And how much do you charge? Now, that is money. Most of you publish papers. Yes, you do, as an academic. But ladies and gentlemen, who reads papers? Be honest. It's only academics like you that read papers. LinkedIn provides an opportunity to actually let other people who are important stakeholders in research and development to know what you do. But how come the average academic I've met hardly uses LinkedIn? Guess what? This will change on this program. That is the reason why we've moved the platform of operation and the platform of response and activities and exercises to the biggest professional network in the world. I have not come here to tell you what the program is, because trust me, if you are quiet and follow through, you will see the benefits. I'm only giving you a teaser in this briefing to prepare your mind that it is not for the faint-hearted. That's true. It's comprehensive, it's hectic, but there is nobody who has taken the time and energy to go through it who remain the same. I'll give you a simple example how practical the program is. It's learning by doing. So that means if I tell you something, the only way I can confirm you know it is if you've done it. So I'll give an example. How many of us have published a paper in the last 2 years as an academic? Can you write yes or no in the chat? I want to make a point. Please, quickly. Don't worry, I'm wrapping up shortly. It's just a briefing session. How many of us have published a paper in the last 2 or 3 years? Be honest. Yes or no? I expect most of you should have. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yes or no? Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Most of you have. Beautiful. That's fantastic.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. That's good. That's good. Most of you
I
have.
have.
Now, listen very carefully. Do you realize that in the papers you publish, for many academics, there's always a section of the paper called literature review? Am I right? In this section, you always reference some top professors in Germany or the US or the UK. So these guys, I call them your et al. Charles et al. You know what I mean? Richard et al. These top professors, the top guys in your area of specialty globally. Those guys you've been referencing for the last 10 years in your research work. Do you realize that my research shows that many academics in Africa, not in Nigeria, hardly ever speak or chat with the professors they reference? So let me get that right. How does that make sense? This person you've been referencing and quoting in your work for the last 10 years doesn't even know you exist. So under partnerships, which is a module in this program, the assignment is very simple. We'll show you how to do an email to these professors, maybe the top 3 that you've been referencing in your work. And the email might sound like this: Dear Professor Richard, I am an ardent follower of your work, and for the last 5 years, I have followed your work carefully and the impact you are making in our area of specialty. As a matter of fact, I've referenced your paper on this and that, your paper on this and that, and I've published my own paper with your reference in clarity. And now you put the link of your own papers in that email because he will check or she will check. Then you're now saying, as it happens, for my assessment, I believe that your work on this and this reference this and this. But from a Nigerian perspective, because I'm an academic of so and so university in Nigeria, you haven't considered this factor, that factor, this condition. I suspect that if these are considered, maybe there might be a different impact or a different result. I will be open to a conversation. Thank you very much. Now, you have to write that email to the top 3 or 4 professors you've been referencing. And then to show us you've done it, are you hearing me? You do a screenshot of that email and post that email on the LinkedIn group so that your mentors, you have coaches, and I'll explain this, can see that is the only evidence you've done it. Guess what happened? After the pilot participants did this simple activity, in a space of 24 hours, our inbox was bombarded. People were screaming, "Hey, doc, I can't believe it. That prof responded. He's asked for partnership. This prof responded. He's invited me as a guest speaker on his next international conference. That professor, that professor has responded. He's asked me to be a partner on his next funding grant." And the impact just went on and on and on because of a simple email that took you out of a comfort zone. Now, that's the program you are on. Now, many programs, you get the benefit at the end of the program, not this one. This one, you get the benefit while you are doing the program. It's how it's designed. And so you have to be ready. If you want to change your academic career, there is a reason why the NUC Executive Secretary said we should expand the scope of this program, because he was impressed about the impact of the data we showed. This program is real, it's impactful, and change is here. I can give you many examples, but then I will ruin the surprise. So I'd like you to just buckle your seatbelt and ready for the ride of your life. It will change your perspective. How many of you in this room like money? If you like to win lots of money and grants, say yes or no. It's okay to say no. That's fine. But let me see the responses, please. I'm wrapping up now. How many of us like money? And by the way, there's a difference between money and money. Money is small chicken change. Money is a kind of revenue you receive and your account will smile. There is so much money in this world. There's so much money in this world for any academic to be broke. Hello? Too much money.
Yeah.
There's too much money in this world for any academic to be broke. That makes no sense. It's about changing your perspective, how you respond, how you act. And this program is what it does. So I'm begging your indulgence. You better get ready. And by the way, notice this program should have begun since Monday. Since Monday. But why haven't we started? Because some people, maybe because of the way it was handled, were reporting us to WhatsApp that there's someone is trying to hack the account. And so WhatsApp for about 2 days suspended the WhatsApp group. And now we obviously made a complaint and the WhatsApp group has been reactivated. So we are waiting for a few more folks to join the program, because at the moment, if you look at the WhatsApp group, we have just about 200 people on the program and we're supposed to be 250. And so we are allowing the next few days over the weekend, and by Monday next week, program starts. So buckle your seatbelt ask all the questions. On the program, you're already having conversations with my good friend, Anthony. Now, Anthony is a project coordinator. So all the correspondence, Anthony will be leading it. So if you have any problems, you talk to him. But also, we'll be introducing to you over this weekend 5 program coaches. So these are like people who have already taken part from the program, from the pilot, people who know what they're doing. All the exercises you'll be doing, they've already done it. So they have been engaged as your coaches on this program. So if you have any question, you can reach out to them. Don't worry, we will leave their details, their WhatsApp numbers, and their LinkedIn profiles for anybody to be able to contact them to help you as you begin to do the exercises. So, any questions so far or any excitement? If you are feeling excited, show me, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat. How are you feeling right now? Is there excitement in the room? So to know members of your university, ask Anthony. He can share with you the names of the members of your university. So especially for those who haven't joined yet, so you can actually reach out to them. Okay, that's very important because we need to get the numbers quickly completed by the weekend because they are the one delaying you. Are you following me? So please, if you want to help, I want to beg your indulgence, reach out to Anthony and say, okay, well, give me the names of the lecturers in my university, and I know this and this, I can ask them to join as well. Because we don't want to be the people sending the link to WhatsApp to anybody anymore, because they don't know us. They've only been nominated by your university partner, vice chancellor, and the senior management. So I would like to beg your indulgence. If you can help, please let Anthony know. Okay? I'm glad to see there's excitement in the room. For the NUC staff members, it's a very powerful program. Each of the activities would bring a leverage in terms of how might policy make this more sustainable. And so there'll be similar activities, but we'll be creating a little bit of a different activity for the policy partners, which are the NUC staff members on the program. So everybody is getting maximum benefit at the end of the day. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate this. Hope rising, excited. Now, at the end of this call, Anthony will open the WhatsApp group. So you can write in the WhatsApp group your expectation. Are you looking forward to this? It's just for the next 1 or 2 hours, and the WhatsApp group will be closed. Now, remember, the WhatsApp group is not the program group. It will only be open once in a while. The reason is because we don't want to put an important information on WhatsApp and then people flood it with different comments such that nobody can remember where the instruction was in the first place. So WhatsApp isn't very good for that. But on LinkedIn, it doesn't matter what you say. Everybody can track what the instruction is very carefully, not on WhatsApp. But for the purpose of getting some excitement going in the room for those who have missed this briefing, Anthony would open the group for just about 2 hours for you to make comments and just tell how excited you are, what are you looking forward to this, and then we would post the link of this briefing session in the WhatsApp group too for those who missed it. We would also post the link on the LinkedIn group. So like I reminded you, ultimately vital, non-negotiable, you will lose the program if you are not on LinkedIn. Wow. It is non-negotiable. That's your first activity. Open book Atakpa. To join LinkedIn, ask Anthony. He knows what to do. Okay, you have to first have a LinkedIn account, and then Anthony will now post the LinkedIn group link. Once you click the link, you join, then you'll be accepted into the group. At the moment, there are less than 100 people on LinkedIn group. That's not good enough. On WhatsApp, it's now over 200. We're going to 250. So that means we have a lot of catching up to do. That's why this briefing was very important. So guys, get going, begin to join LinkedIn, because by Monday, we've waited for too long. It's now 1 week past when the program should have started. By Monday, the program will start. Doesn't matter if you've joined LinkedIn or not, because we've given you enough allowance, and you will start missing the program if by Monday you're not on LinkedIn. That's very, very crucial. I do appreciate everybody and looking forward to working with you on this transformational journey. God bless you and have a lovely evening. If you have any questions, drop it with Anthony and he'll respond to you. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.
Or Mofebi question.
Thank you for this update.
Wanted to ask question.
Yeah.
Otilogo.
Thank you.
Nothing.
Thank you, Dr. Kanimo.
David Michael join group. July.
Have a blessed day.
This NUC.
Thank you, doctor.
School offending. School
For the opportunity, quite interesting.
Doctor, it's a nice section we had here. Thank you.
So I've opened the group. So who you can post your message.